I immediately shot up my hand and I remembered when they hired Dr. Mary, they sent a big old email blast out to everyone. And I said, well, didn't we already do that? We're already in the performance arena. We're going to tell people that we're still committed to the work and we're moving to a committee model, or are we just going to fire in the dead of night and forget about it? Everyone at the Tennessee Performing Arts Center, and I'm not kidding, gets a $1,000 bonus check. This is 2 days after they have a meeting with us explaining why firing Dr. Mary Clark was okay and better for the institution. And 2 days later, everyone gets a $1,000 bonus. So what happened? I can only speculate that her salary was then dissolved to be asked the question, what is the community saying? I thought it was obvious that the community would be hurt. And I sort of became, in some of those meetings, sort of the designated BIPOC person, sort of tasked with speaking for an entire community. We're not going to use your character names for this. We're going to use your street names. And couldn't read the room of how saying street names to a bunch of Black students might be weird. And then after the lesson, a student actually heartbreakingly went up to their teacher and said, Mr. Blank, do I have a street name? And it just broke my heart. And I was just standing there what happens now? In the same school, that same teaching artist referred to a staff meeting or an email chain that was happening without her, with the predominantly Black teacher team, referred to that as the Underground Railroad. And you're going to say you're doing good in the community, you can't call Black teachers having an email thread without you the Underground Railroad. But that person stayed on payroll. They're still front and center in a lot of their summer camp programming. And I just thought that was completely inappropriate. I don't care how valuable an asset someone is. I don't care how good they are with most of the kids, quote unquote. The same teaching artist mimicked, we were doing a Spanish language Aladdin, and during one of the rehearsals in front of 7th grade students from the Latinx community, we're going to put on a Spanish speaking Aladdin with a, you might call it Speedy Gonzalez impression kind of thing in front of these kids. And I'm this is not bringing us closer to equity. This is not setting a good example for these kids. Having teachers performing and doing Jamaican Sebastian accents and Little Mermaid professional development days, white teachers doing Jamaican accents, and all of us standing there and being is this okay? I feel like it's not. So that's the norm. And that's the thing is, but we're doing so much good. We're empowering these students, but it's not enough. Diversity is roll call. Diversity is who's in the room? Raise your hand. Inclusion is how do those people feel once they're in that room? And I think that we were doing a diverse program with the Disney program. I don't know that it was inclusive. So I don't know that we can use the excuse that we do good work. So the work that y'all have done has literally put money back into the hands of artists that deserve it. So thank you for everything that Arts Equity is doing. It's really an honor to be here, but also empower other arts employees to protect themselves by doing their own data gathering, receipt keeping, and logging to protect themselves in this scenario. The first thing is just creating a detailed timeline of everything that is happening, logging dates, screenshotting emails. I think that is first and foremost a really easy way to start protecting yourself in these situations.
And you're talking about even microaggressions, anything. Okay.
Somebody said something racist in the staff meeting, log it. You were on Teams, screen record your Teams. If it's going to be a meeting that you think someone might say something offensive, if you get in a situation where it could literally save your career, it is important to keep that stuff in mind, that you do have means to protect yourself. So I would say gathering and logging your data, recording where possible. Another big thing was just timing, if you see something, just say it as soon as you see it. Because that prevents them from using this excuse of, well, why didn't you say something sooner? There is no right or wrong time to come forward. If you feel that you've been a survivor of systemic abuse, there is no right or wrong time. You're on your own time. My advice to artists and administrators working in these systems who are marginalized folks to just, to keep your mental health first and foremost, to create community and inclusion wherever you are. Outside of work, if you're not feeling it there, and also to really if you experience something there, to say something as soon as possible. But I understand that that's not always possible. So it's really it's different from person to person. But a survivor's timeline is their own.
Right.
And I think that a lot of institutions will try and shame you for X, Y, or Z, but just remembering that your story is important. Simply existing in that space is important, and you have value, and you have other people in the community who need to see you so that they can, especially young people, so that they can know that they can be there too, that they can have a seat at those tables and we can make those tables bigger.